welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, I'm Sam and I do all things Disney, so if you do too, please consider subscribing to my channel. Completely free to you guys. Just click on the subscribe button and join my little Disney community. So today, a lot of you know that I love giving you tips and tricks when it comes to going to the Disney parks. I have been multiple times and along the way I've come up with different methods to deal with certain things, and today, like it says in the title, I'm going to be giving you some little tips what I found myself when I am actually going on a long haul flight to Walt Disney World. If you are going from the UK, it is a 9-hour flight, so it is a very long haul flight. And if you are going, and I get irritable when it's on a plane, so I have to make sure that I've got lots of things in place to try and just keep focused on something, or try and keep myself occupied, so those hours seem to go quick because I'll be constantly looking at that clock thinking, oh my gosh, I've got another 8 hours, oh my gosh, I've got another 7 hours. So today I'm just going to be giving you some little top tips on what I do to try and just make the journey and the long haul flight a little bit more easier on haul. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I've already done a video on long haul flight tips and tricks when it comes to going as a family. If you have not yet seen that one, I'll put a little tab here, because if you're a family, obviously you're going to need a lot more distraction when it comes to children. So that video is really good if you want some tips and tricks on how to prepare for a long haul flight. But today I'm just going to focus on myself and what I have actually do to keep myself occupied and make the journey as comfortable as I can. So the first thing I normally take is, I know it sounds crazy, but I'll take a massive beach bag with me, just so I can fit everything what I need for the long haul flight. This will normally stay just under my feet, and then I'll rest my feet on it. It makes a good stool, in a way, a footstool for some reason, but it fits everything I need for that long haul flight. I don't feel that I'm restricting myself in any way, so a nice big beach bag is fantastic to put everything in for that long haul flight. Normally when it comes to flights, they don't actually have a size requirement for your handbag. I've never been stopped before on any kind of long haul flight to how big is your handbag, but this one I'd put as my handbag. Yeah, it's absolutely perfect to put everything in. So that's the first thing I would actually take. So the first items I would be taking is, obviously I'm in 2021, and that is a face mask, and I'll always try to get a face mask what is really comfy and quite big and not tight on your face, just because if you're having it on for a good 8 hours of that flight, you're gonna have to have it really comfy. With some flights at the moment, they want you to have a surgical mask, which they will provide that for you, but in some cases a lot of flights will just let you have your own mask. So always make sure that you've got a mask what's really comfy on your face, and it doesn't irritate you or hurt at the back of your ears, because if you are having it for a long time, obviously it will start to irritate you. So make sure that you've picked your mask wisely. The next thing I would take is a face mask. Now this one is my Christmas Mickey face mask, as you can see, but any kind of face mask I would normally take. This one is a gel one, so you could put it in a fridge if you really wanted to, but this one is just a nice soft one. I love the gel one as well, where you can put it over your eyes, and it's just really nice and comfy, and it doesn't feel too tight on your eyes as well, because that's a massive thing for me. But with your face mask, it will block out any light. I do know if you've got an afternoon flight, they won't always put the lights down if you're wanting to get a nap. If you're just wanting to go to sleep and let the time go by, sometimes they don't put those lights down, so you have to make sure that you've got something to block out that light so you can get a decent night's sleep, or even try and get to sleep. So that's the first. The next thing I would highly suggest is, halfway through the flight, is go to the restroom and get freshened up with some facial wipes. I know with just the air in itself, you can feel a little bit clammy or dirty. You just don't feel yourself when you're in a flight. So always get some facial wipes, take them to the bathroom, freshen yourself up, take your toothbrush and toothpaste with you as well. Just give you a freshen up halfway through that flight, because I do that around about after 4.5 hours. I'll go to the restroom, freshen up a little bit. Sometimes I don't like to put makeup on if it's a long haul flight, just because your makeup starts to smudge and everything. So I don't normally have my makeup on, and I'll just freshen up with some facial wipes, brush my teeth, brush my hair, and I just feel so much better and able to do the 4.5 hours what is left on the flight. So definitely I would recommend freshening up at the restroom a good halfway through. The next thing I would highly recommend having in your hand luggage instead of having it in your whole luggage is some kind of small first aid kit. So you would have your plasters. Just look at that, literally I've got thousands of plasters in there, but also I've got a lip balm, because normally when you've got like the aircon on the flight, your lips can get really sore, dry, crack. So always have some kind of lip balm with you. I always take it for the kids as well. And I always take some paracetamol or cocodamol or something, because I always seem to get a headache just because of the aircon. So definitely have a little first aid with you. So if you do get a headache or your lips start to get chapped or anything, you've got something there just in case anything appears. The next thing I would take, and this is pretty obvious, but taking a neck pillow. This is really good if you are on just the standard seats and you can't rest your neck in a proper position if you are on a long haul flight. So these are a godsend. I love them so much. So you just put it around your neck. Obviously you already all know this probably, but you just put it around your neck and it just supports your neck when you are trying to get to sleep. I have actually got one of these for all of my family, so every single one of us have one of these, and I got the one with the beads inside, which I find is a lot better than having the ones with just the stuffing inside, because they seem to flatten over time. And if you're anyone like me what goes on vacations quite regular, then you want something that's going to last, so you're not continuously buying a new one. So I would always go for something what is beaded inside. So, and it always keeps its shape, and it kind of adjusts to your neck when you've got it on as well. So top tip, always get a beaded neck pillow. The next thing I will get is my beauty supply. Now this is just a simple one. Is when I'm freshening up in the bathroom, I would always put some hand cream on, or sometimes if I've chipped my nail varnish, I'll always keep my nail varnish with me, because normally when I am going through the airport, I'm grabbing my luggage, I'm grabbing my children and all this, I'll always end up chipping something, and it'll be my fingernail or it'll be my toenail, but I'm like, oh my goodness. But I always have it with me just to top it up while I'm on the plane. End of the day I've got 9 hours doing nothing, so I can easily just top up my nail varnish. And also I have some, let me just get it out for you. So I've got some hand cream, I've got some face cream. I will try and link as much as I can below for you, so you can go and check them out. I've got some more hand cream, and what else have I got? Skin blemisher. So that's basically if you're feeling tired again, or your face needs a little bit hydrated, that is something to go for. So yes, there is lots and lots in there what I go for, but it's just basic stuff like your hand creams, stuff what you'd have at home. But half of this, you got to remember your requirements and what you can have on your hand luggage. So most of these stuff, so that would be a perfect size to take on the plane, but when it comes to your big hand cream, I probably would just have the little cream there. I wouldn't actually take that as hand luggage. I'd put that in my suitcase, but on the way there I definitely have something to make sure I keep freshened. Hand cream, face cream and stuff like that, just to make sure that you get off that plane as fresh as you possibly can. The next thing I would take is some tissues, because you can guarantee I'll start snuzzing. So definitely some tissues is recommended. The next thing I would recommend is some headphones. These are actually my daughter's headphones, but just for an example for today, I would get some headphones. I would always have something like this, not the ones from like Apple, because they just don't drain out the sound of the plane. So always have something like this what you can easily get into deep thought with, block out the world with, and I just find them really comfy on your head. I just feel if you have the Apple ones in, the wireless ones, if you have them in for a long period of time, they'll start hurting your ears, and that's something you don't want on a long haul flight. So these would definitely be something to take into consideration, just because you don't want to have your ears hurting when you're getting off the plane, and you want to keep them in so you can listen to your movie, or you just want to listen to music or whatever. But definitely have something like this. I do know planes do provide some little like cheap headphones, but they are really cheap, and because we are in the pandemic, I'm unsure if they are actually providing them at the moment. Let me know in the comments if you have been on a long haul flight and if they are actually providing headphones for you to listen to the movies. But I always like to take my own, the better quality, and it's just all round better. And the next item I would actually take is a book. I have actually got a book with me at the moment. They're all downstairs, but yeah, I would definitely take a book. Or I'd just take something what would entertain me. So if I was writing in my journal, I would definitely take my journal with me. I would be also having my planner with me. So if I've got anything I really wanted to catch up on my planner, I would do that. And I would also take some pair of socks, because when it comes to long haul flights, they do have the aircon on, and I get freezing. Literally I get freezing. So I definitely recommend taking some socks with you, just in case you get a bit chilly and your feet get cold. Because if you're anyone like me, if I'm going on holiday, I go in sandals and then I get freezing on that plane. So always take a pair of socks with you. And the final thing I would take is a nice warm blanket. I take a few blankets with me when it's me and my family going, but if it's just me, I'll take a little throw on blanket. I do know when it comes to long haul flights, 9 times out of 10 they will provide a pillow and a blanket, but there's just nothing like having your own blanket, if you ask me. So I always take my own blanket, and I'll always take my neck pillow as well. It's just, I think it's home from home comforts, and it's just to make the flight a little bit more comfy, a little bit at home. So I always take my own blanket with me. Hasn't got to be massive, but because I do take my massive beach bag with me on the plane, I just fit it all in there, and it's perfect. So guys, that's everything I would take on my long haul flight. Obviously it's a lot less what I would take on my own, but if I was going with my family, I'd be taking everything. I'd be taking games with me, colourings with me, the whole shebang. But if it is just me, that is what I take personally. So guys, that's everything I've got for you today. I really hope you liked my little tips. I hope I've gave you some tips and some advice what you could do on a long haul flight. But that's it for me today. If you did enjoy this, remember to subscribe and give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.